Paul and I were talking about a need for something to help new members to find where in that broad spectrum of Rotary opportunities can they find a place where their interest matches their availability. Okay? And if no one's explained to you all the pieces and parts of Rotary, there is no reason why you should know, right? And I think it's easy if you've been in it for a while just to assume that everybody knows these things. But I talked to the principal of Troy High School the other day. He had never heard of Rotary Youth Exchange, which was kind of shocking.
Oh.
But the fact is, people do not know about the options available in Rotary. And so we're going to try to put together a program in September trying to follow up on the new member inductions where we bring new members in and we help them to just see the possibilities and find the place that they might want to plug in to fit with their own personal passions. So you'll hear more from me about the date when that's coming up. Well, my appeal to you would be if you've sponsored a member, if you are a new member, please encourage those new members to join, right? It's not old member reorientation, it's not an intervention, we're not trying to fix who we have today, we're trying to take the new members and help them see the options that are available without assuming that people walk into Rotary understanding what's available. Okay, thanks.
Before we get into the engaged retain members, Brenda would like to say a few things.
Yeah, what I wanted to do is follow up on what Bala was talking about regarding the former members or blast from the past or call a friend. That's one of the biggest initiatives we have for Grow Rotary 2020 this year. We think this is going to be a huge, huge game changer. And what we're doing is we're looking at our database. There's over 5,000 names in the database of former Rotarians in this district alone. So what we're doing is we're pulling reports for each club. We're not just going to call the club and say, here, go and pull your report. We're going to pull the report. We're going to present it to the club. We're going to team with the assistant governors, and we're going to give the clubs a timeline, similar from what you guys have been doing, going through your former list, making a good list, calling the people and getting them back. We just think this is going to be a huge game changer. So we're excited about that. Bala is actually in charge of that initiative, and I know he's doing it here, so it's a great warm up, and I'm just really looking forward to it. And we've had some really good success on the first beta clubs that we've targeted. So more to come on that.
Awesome.
All right, we're not going to talk much on the engaged retain members. We'll save it for another day because Jay is not here, but all I'll say is we're going to have a lot of social outings and continuing with Michael's suggestion and training on branding ourselves and social media, so there'll be more to come. I just want to spend 2 minutes on prospective member identification by us here. Everyone has a finding new club members sheet, so we don't have to complete it now, but if you have time in the next couple of minutes, you can do that. The idea being is each one of us, like President Mark Mullen said, who is it that's not in Rotary? Who would we like to be in Rotary? So if we can go through and read this, not right now, at your convenience, and identify prospective members. There's a worksheet right here, and there's a lot of nice suggestions. This will also be sent via email to you in addition to this packet, because this packet is a lot more detailed. It will take me another 2 or 3 club meetings to go through them, and we're not going to do that. With that, we'll open up for any Q&A. Can we take 1 or 2 questions?
Yes. So just as a suggestion for what you were just saying, Don Riddell came up with the idea of, looking around and in our city, for example, chief of police, the mayor even from the city council office, whoever that we could come up with a list, that's who we need to target. But there's a lot of missing vocations that are not in there. We don't have a lot of the nursing community. Obviously that's work related possibly, but there's a lot of nurses that aren't working. So it's good to look at vocation wise, it's good to look at age wise. There was always a drive to get younger club, but younger isn't always, I don't think it's everything, right? It's a mix.
So speaking of age, and I do agree with Bala,
Roma, thank you.
Bala's wife. But, age is not everything, but we need to be a more diversified club. So I think we need more women, we need more 30-somethings and 40-somethings. And I don't think there's anything wrong with, we use this phrase in marketing, some of you think it's a vicious phrase, it's just marketing people. Targeting the kind of people that we want to come into the club. For example, I'm filling out this sheet already, Bala. We need a photographer. We need 3 photographers in this club. So I'm thinking now about who I know that takes pictures and they can dovetail their expertise with what we need in the club. But what I wanted to say about the young people is we worked really hard to get our meeting down to an hour. Liz just said that was news to her because we had one of the longest meetings in town for a while. It was an hour and a half, and if you stayed after, it was an hour and 45. And people, like I'm still working, raise your hand if you're still working. If you got someplace to go after lunch, you know, it's a hassle. So we worked really hard to get our meeting trimmed to an hour. Why? So we would be more attractive to certain demographics, like 30-somethings and 40-somethings. So now it's time to go after them. That's the full, we used to say in high school that the equation has to balance in algebra. That's the other side of the equation. Now it's time to go to work on getting those desirable people to enjoy us for 60 minutes. Thank you.
Jim had a question.
Oh yeah, you know what? Michael brought up a good point about that. But you know, in the industry, how we succeeded. We went through a organized plan called the Quality Functional Deployment and Voice of the Customer Analysis. And we just have a questionnaire, 7-question questionnaire of why everybody's here, why everybody joined. And I'm telling you this, out of that data analytics, you get an idea of who will join this club, what age they are, where they're working, what time periods they have, and you have a good idea of your profile. And once all you got to do is just work on that profile and get more members. And if you want to diversify and get younger members, you could have that as part of the profile. Could you bring in younger members? You know, that kind of thing. That's what we used to do. And we used to have the wow factors. Wow, why do people want to join? Just use the wow factors all the time. That's it.
All right.
We have time for one more question, if anyone is interested.
All right. On behalf of the our membership team and Troy Rotary, we would like to thank Brenda and Linda for coming and participating in our membership program. And thank you all. Remember, the membership is each and every club member's responsibility. And thank you.
Thank you very much. Now let's turn around for pictures with our guest today, please. Okay, I believe we have a